I began my musical life rather late. And I realized in the 8th grade that if I took piano lessons, I would not have to play baseball. However, as soon as I began, I loved it. I did nothing but practice. And by the time I was 17, I made a debut recital in San Francisco. So I was launched when I was in my junior year at University of California at Berkeley and went to the Aspen Music Festival to study with Leonard Schur, a very famous pianist of that time. Well, he was a wonderful player, but he was a mean-spirited teacher. So to spend the time happily in music, I could either sing or write a piece. So I thought, I'll write a piece. Something had never occurred to me in my piano playing days. So I wrote this fantasy, Opus 1, and I played it for a friend of mine, Robert Morgan. He said, come to Darius Milhaud, the famous French composer, play it for him, which I did. He said to me, my boy, you are a composer. Soliloquy is my most dissonant piece, practically, and it was my first piece. I had a very advanced piano teacher at the time who was interested in all this music. His name was Bernard Abramovich. He came from Germany. So I learned these very difficult pieces, and it became natural to me to hear dissonance. In those days, it was so exciting to be atonal because it was so new. We were happy with our kind of wholesome, heartfelt wheatland music, which in a way was what my generation had been fed on. So to have this other totally horrifying aesthetic that was atonal was thrilling. When you're a composer, you want to be different. You want to have something special to say. You want to be shocking. You want to get attention. So this filled the bill. My first vocal compositions were settings of James Joyce. I wrote 4 pieces, 4 songs to James Joyce texts. I Hear an Army, Night Controverse, and finally Syzygy, the most complex of the pieces. Well, by the time I was writing Syzygy, I was very involved with mechanisms, devices, music that went backwards and forwards. I was entranced by the palindrome, which, as you know, in the words is like, for example, the word madam, M-A, then a center, D, and an A-M, backwards. Syzygy is full of these palindromes and additive rhythms, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. At the same time, I was interested in extremes of sounds, especially the second one, Night Piece, speaks of the distance of the stars from everything else and this huge void in the middle, and some of that appealed to me, and I found a kind of metaphoric parallel in using piccolos up there and contrabassoons down in the bass.